Good morning, boys and girls. Today we're going to read a story called How to Catch a Star by Oliver Jeffers. We're going to read the story and then we're going to create our own version of how to catch a star. So listen carefully for some ideas throughout the book. Once there was a boy, and the boy loved stars very much. Every night the boy watched the stars from his window and wished he had one of his very own. He dreamed how this star might be his friend. They would play hide and go seek and take long walks together. The boy decided he would try to catch a star. He thought that getting up early in the morning would be best, because then the star would be very tired from being up in the sky all night. So, the next day he set out at sunrise, but he could not see a star anywhere. He sat down and waited for one to appear. He waited, and he waited, and ate lunch. And waited, and after dinner, he waited some more. Finally, just before the sun was about to go away, he saw a star. The boy tried to jump up and grab it, but he could not jump high enough. So, very carefully, he climbed to the top of the tallest tree he could find. But the star was still way out of reach. He thought he might lasso the star with the lifebelt from his father's boat, but it was much too heavy for him to carry. He thought he could fly up in his spaceship and just grab the star, but his spaceship had run out of petrol last Tuesday when he flew to the moon. Perhaps he could get a seagull to help him fly up into the sky to reach his star. But the only seagull he could find didn't want to help at all. The boy thought he would never catch a star. Just then he noticed something floating in the water. It was the prettiest star he had ever seen. Just a baby star. It must have fallen from the sky. He tried to fish the star out with his hands, but he couldn't reach it. Then he had an idea. The star might wash up on the shore. He ran back along the jetty to the beach. Then he waited and walked and watched and waited. And sure enough, the star washed up on the bright golden sand. The boy had caught a star of his very own. Okay, boys and girls, for today's lesson, we are going to think of our own way to catch a star. Here's my ideas sheet that you can have a look at if you want some ideas. Maybe you would catch a star by jumping on a trampoline really high. Maybe you could try a rocket. Maybe you would climb a ladder to catch a star. Or maybe fly up on a magical unicorn. Or how about a bow and arrow to catch a star? Or maybe if you get a big bunch of balloons, you would float up into the sky like the movie Up. So that's just a few of my ideas that you can have a little look at. You can see what the little boy and girl looks like if you want to copy. But you can think of your own way to catch a star. Or you can use one of these, I don't mind. I'm sure you've got plenty of really good ideas about how you would get really high. So let me show you how to draw this. So the first job we have to do is make a nice starry sky for the background. For this, I'm going to use some blue and purple. Now today I'm going to use a little bit of ink, but you might not have that at home. So you can use some paint. So I'm going to add blue. Okay, and you can do this with paint. And if you want different colors of blue, You can add more water to get this light color with your paint, or you can add less water to get this darker shade of blue. So I'm just going to do some blue patches over my page and leave some space for the purple. Okay, and remember, when we're painting, we paint in one direction. Look, my hand is going from left to right, left to right. Okay, so let me wash my brush and I try with the purple. Okay, and that mixes in nicely. So if you want to just use blue on your page, that's fine. You can paint your whole page blue. Or if you want a more kind of space look, you can add some different colors, dark blue, light blue, some purple. What other colors might you find in like a space sky? And if you don't have any paint at home, that's fine. Maybe you could do this with your colors, color pencils, or markers. Or you don't have to have a background at all if you don't have anything. You can just draw your idea on a page. I don't mind. Okay, just need a little bit of purple or blue here. Can't wait to see your lovely space skies. So this is on one page. We'll need another page to draw our idea. Okay, so I'm just going to let that dry while I draw my idea, and then later I'm going to show you how to mix some stars on your background. Okay, so let me get another paper for my drawing. Okay, I had a little look at the idea sheet and I've decided I'm going to fly up to catch the star in a rocket ship. So I'm going to draw the shape of the rocket ship, nice and big so we can see it. Maybe you would like to climb a big tall giraffe to catch a star. Maybe you could climb a really tall tree and you could draw that. I'm going to draw a little window. Okay, and I'm going to do me inside. I think I'll give myself a nice bow. Okay, and that's me looking out of my rocket ship. So I'm going to get some paint and color my rocket ship. You could also do that with markers or color pencils. Okay, now I'm going to add some paint to my rocket ship, but you can just color that if you want with markers or colors. Then later I'm going to cut this out and I'm going to stick it onto my sky. So we're kind of painting our own story today, like the book. So I'm going to have a nice red rocket ship. So first I'll color everything on the rocket ship's body red, but I'm going to leave some details like this bit of white. Okay, so it's important when we paint to think about details. I'm also going to leave these squares white so that my rocket ship has a nice design. It's kind of like a pinky red, isn't it? But I like it. Okay, almost finished with the body of the rocket ship. And the paints I'm using today are watercolor paints. You might remember them from the classroom. And for watercolor paints, you need a lot of water on the brush. So if you go out of the edges a little bit like I did there, it doesn't really matter, because we're going to cut it out and stick it onto our sky. But remember, if you don't have any paint, or if you want, you can just paint your sky around here. Okay, Now I'm going to add a little bit more paint in some parts to make some shadow. So I'll make it a bit darker there, a bit darker there for some shadow, and maybe here some shadow. Okay, now I have to wash my brush because I'm going to add a little bit of blue in my window. Some more water. Okay, there's some blue in my window. And then I'm going to color my hair. Okay. Now I'm going to let this dry and then I'm going to cut it out and stick it on my background. Now I'm going to show you a cool trick on how to make stars. So once your background dries a bit, you can get some white paint just on the tip of your brush, and then you can hold it with this hand and use this finger to flick on some stars. Okay, now make sure you have something to cover your table. You can see here I've got some paper, so add some more, not too much, just a little bit at a time, and then flick those stars. Okay, and now my background is becoming a nice starry sky. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to get my little rocket ship and stick him on. Okay, so I have my starry sky and I cut out my little rocket ship. So I'm actually turning my page this way instead of that way. And I also made a little star that looks like the one on the book. So you can make a little star for your cartoon to catch. So I'm going to take my rocket ship and add glue all around the edges. And then stick it on here, and I'm going to make it a little bit slanted. Here we go, rub that down so it stays. Now I'm going to add glue to my star. And stick that on. Maybe you want to add some glitter to your star if you want. Okay, and here we have it. My story about how to catch a star. I can't wait to see what your idea. Have fun, everyone!